So we're all making 35,000 decisions a day. Clearly, a lot of those are done via subconscious processing because, we're not consciously thinking about all of those things. We wouldn't be able to get anything done by any means. And so our brains use predictability. This is why we like the status quo, because the subconscious makes decisions based on what has worked well for it in the past. And knowing that what the subconscious likes might not be something that fits in with what we consciously think that we're wanting to do. We look as an organization and we think about change. What people tend to think is that change is only the big stuff that requires like a project management team. So we've got a CEO retiring, we're going through a merger, we're doing a big rebrand, we're moving to a new building, those sorts of things to say that's all that justifies being in a change for our employees. But like I said about the construction on the route to work or little changes, our brains work in those micro moments, those 35,000 decisions. And if we're bogging things down and trying to do too many changes at one time, especially things that are unimportant changes, which we tend to just throw in all the time because it shouldn't matter, but it absolutely does. And then it makes it so when we are asking for big changes, people just don't have the capacity to be able to be receptive to that change. And they're going to really hunker down on the status quo and what they're familiar with, not because the new thing is actually bad. Often it could be objectively better, and people know that consciously, and yet they still rebel against it because it's different, and that can be scary. So by thinking about change in a different way and knowing that even little things we're asking people to change, and I make the argument in the book that every interaction and conversation is one of change. We're either in changes that have already happened, the wake of those, we're right in the midst of a change, or we're preparing for future change. And so if we think about it in that way and prioritize and work on the right stuff, it can make it so people will be naturally better at those changes.